All right, so now we are officially live for another edition of Sunday Market Outlook. I am here with the one and only Mr. Brent Badal. It is January 12th, 2025, and we are ready to kick off a brand new trading week. If you guys are excited in the chat box, let's light it up one more time before we officially get straight into it. And for all those watching the recording, shout out to you guys for being here and watching this with us right now. So without further ado, I'm gonna let Brent take it away with the weather forecast on the charts with Forex
Yes.
Factory. So, bro, do your thing. Appreciate you for making the time for being here. I know that it's your team playing right now, so I know you're making a sacrifice, bro. So let's
Yeah.
run it.
Making definitely a sacrifice at that time. Make sure we send some good vibes for them to do the right
Tampa,
damn
good vibes
thing.
to
Freaking
Tampa.
Mayfield. They start off right away like, bro, go for it, 4-2. What is it? Take the 3 points. Come on. Now we go for it here. We're gonna play it safe. We go for it always. But yes, we're gonna go ahead and run over the Sunday market outlook here, the side of the forecast and everything quick, because we do have a surprise for you guys to show. So we have some hard work that we did. Rich and I were on a call for like what 5 hours almost, bro. So we got some stuff, we got some little bit of sauce to share with you guys. So let's make sure we go ahead and run through this super quickly here. So let me share my screen. Bam, screen shared. Okay, cool. We are ready. So as we know, we trade news, love news. News is nothing to be afraid of. It's a lot of volume, a lot of movement. Don't fall for the smoke of what the news is going to say. Just know what type of news it is to know how to trade it. So tomorrow, Monday, tomorrow night it's chill, not really nothing happening. But what I do need you guys to be ready for and where the market can actually move, and if not numbers, it's going to be very important, is a federal budget balance. Something is very off. It should be red. It's yellow. It's been orange the last couple times. And the forecast just doesn't add up. Every single time it's been almost doubling, if not at least another half. So we should be looking maybe more like a 450 to 550 billion in the negative, and it's saying we're only going to be 67 magically. So I do not understand why that number is there. So let's pay attention to that at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, PM, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's make sure we pay attention to that because, like I said, it could be a little bit weird. I don't know really how that's going to happen. So let's just be ready for that. Tuesday, we have PPI. PPI 7:30. Perfect time for that to happen. High volume, big movements. Great. That goes right into our live session an hour later, and then into 30 minutes later into our live session, then an hour after that, Rich. So it's like a perfect timing for us to have this type of news, really for the market to move favorably for us. And if you trade PPI, that's always fun as well. Wednesday, we have CPI, another good set of news too. Fast movement, lots of volume, and that is happening at 7:30. Again, a really good time that that's happening. Top of that, we have Empire State Manufacturing, a couple of FOMC speakers, crude oil. We have a lot going on Wednesday. Lots of movement. Thursday, we have core retail sales, unemployment claims, Philly Fed manufacturing, import prices. Again, lots of good news again at 7:30 Central Standard Time. This is going to be a really good week, guys. We should have lots of volume. That's going to be good just because every single news that we're seeing that's high impact is happening at that 7:30 time, and that is great. The market likes to take an impulse regardless of that time for NAS and gold. So for us to have that set of news there, that's even better. It's just a better set for us really at that point, really to get more excited into trading the news. And then Friday we close out with building permits, housing maps. So like this one, nothing crazy to like trade off on Friday, but it's going to be important because as I always say, housing is one of the leading indications for recession, right? So we definitely want to pay attention to that. But again, quick little recap. The fun days we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all three of them at 7:30 Central Standard Time, which runs right into our sessions. Let you guys know now, Thursday will not be live Thursday. Well, Tuesday I will, Wednesday I will, Thursday I will not be live because we will be in London. And I don't even want to take the risk as far as taking the laptop. If there's good internet, that's internet, and not having my whole setup and just being able to deliver a session how it is. In short terms, I don't want to half-ass it, so I would rather just cancel that session overall, and we'll have two sessions this week, Tuesday, Wednesday. Back to you, Rich.
For sure, bro. All right. So let's get straight into some charts here. Um, we're gonna start things off with gold as always. All right, guys. So, I want to talk about, from our last conversation, how things ended up panning out. For those that follow along consistently, you know that we're pretty spot on usually with the direction long term of these assets that we analyze. Um, Actually, I had to reset my chart here, so let me bring it back to here. So last week, hold on. I had this all marked off, and then we ended up, it was right here, 2635. All right, here we go. So last week on Sunday, when we were analyzing here, guys, I let you know the importance of key levels in general, but for gold especially, this 2630, 2635 level was going to be kind of like the overall candidate for where we're going to want to see price react from a higher time frame perspective to kind of know where we can expect price to head to. Okay. Um, so basically, guys, key levels. I mean, some people you can call it support, resistance. I mean, whatever you want to call it, I guess. I just always call it key levels because I'm not really looking for support and resistance to buy or sell. I'm just looking at areas where the market reacts and what happens when the market pushes in one direction. Like, where does it go and where's the potential, right? So, for example, this 2635 level, we talked about it since last week because, again, we saw reactions from this level multiple times before last Sunday. So last Sunday we were here, okay? And essentially I was like, hey guys, look, if we are going to stay below 2635, 2630, then we can look for sell positions potentially all the way to these lows, okay? To overall kind of take that. But if you guys recall, overall I was bearish. I'm sorry, bullish on the position because we did have this massive drop, but really we bottomed out here. And once we respected that low and started actually making new higher highs, they weren't significantly higher highs, but they were still continuing to push bullish. So all in all, the overall gold market since bottoming out here had been bullish. And to start the week, we actually saw it dip below the level and it didn't last very long. You know, we dipped, came right back above. In fact, if we actually look at this exact 4-hour candle here, this one right here. This was that candle that kind of really, showed us that, okay, because this is a 4-hour candle, right? If we tried going lower and we've rejected, again, look at the market structure, right? We had this high, we had this lower high, and we had a new higher high, right? So from the structure, we tried pushing lower, made a new high in the market. And so really, we're going to continue being bullish unless we break and close below the last lower high. These are all things that if you haven't been through basics, guys, I know there's still some newer people here. You got to go through basics. You got to understand market structure because that's going to allow you to kind of not get lost on the charts. And if you notice, what I always do on the market outlooks is I'll start with the higher time frames. So that way you guys are not trying to micro scalp, like Brent does that, but he understands where he's at in price beforehand, before his sessions, right? So understand, we're looking at this low. Price has shifted higher, did not make new lows, made a new higher high. So even if you're seeing this big pullback, overall, unless we break and close here, we're still bullish. And so when we see price reject and come right back above that key level, those are things that I start to really like as multiple confirmations for getting into a trade. Okay, market structure has shown us that it is bullish, making a new higher high. We've waited for retracements. Price is now breaking back above a key level. Now, as I always say, I don't actively trade gold. I just have way too much that I already do with Nas. You guys already know the deal. So always refer to Brent, refer to Joel, all the other people that trade gold, right? But especially Brent being on here, I mean, he crushes it on his live sessions, TTTs, etc. But all in all, this 2635 level ended up, doing basically what we talked about, which was become that pivot point for what ended up being like a really nice swing move for pretty much the whole week, right? And really, we were targeting the next high. I told you guys if we remain above the 2630, 2635 level, that we would be seeing all of these highs get targeted. So once we really clipped that, it could have gone down. It could have done other stuff, of course. But at least until that new level of 2670 that we talked about, again, you can go back and refer to the last Sunday market outlook. That's really what we expected. And where we're sitting at right now with gold for the week ahead is kind of it's in a tricky spot overall simply because it depends how you're gonna look at this, okay? Because if we had this high over here, we had this previous low that took us up here. Technically, we shifted structure, breaking and closing below here. All right, so major low, we formed a new high, and now we shifted structure here. So this entire bullish run that we've been having last week is going to be headed into retracement areas up here, and it's already kind of reacting there. Okay. If we really look at the fibs for retracement levels, typically if we're gonna look at price pushing up, shifting structure, retracing to continue to make a new lower low in the market, we're gonna want to see price retrace somewhere beyond 60%, 62%. So again, marking this high, we have this low. This is the last low. We came up higher, shifted structure. This looks like one big pullback beyond 62%. Between that 62 to 80% range, if we're going to be bearish long term, we're going to get reactions and we shouldn't break this high. We should see price start to make new lows here and start working its way back down. This is if we're going to have a bearish week. If we're having a bearish week, we shouldn't see these highs get rated. I said it was tricky because if you look at the structure on the way coming up, it is bullish, right? Because again, we already talked about it from last week. Price made this lower high, did not shift structure. We ended up making that new higher high for the week, maintained this bullish structure. So we're maintaining bullish structure for now. So really, again, what I'm looking for is if you're going to sell gold, I do like it to come up maybe one more time. Somewhere up beyond 78%, and then shifting structure would indicate sells at least back to the key level and potentially to the new lows. Again, this is a higher time frame perspective. I mean, that's what I see personally for gold right now. I would be focused on selling it. Daily time frame. Yeah, man. I just even on the daily, guys, if we look at structure here, price kind of tried to make a new high and did break below these lows pretty aggressively, even on the daily. So if we're looking at structure from this low to this high, we definitely broke and closed below the highs below the lows that printed this high. So overall, I think it's tricky, but I would be focused maybe on some sells. So that's how I see it, Brent. Would love to obviously get your thoughts on that for sure.
Yeah. Uh,
But
gold is just
short-term buys are pushing hard though, for sure.
yeah, that's the thing. Gold is in such a weird spot. So like the
Yeah.
cells make perfect sense. Structurally, everything, what happened in NFP. So like I didn't send you guys a sell, but I took a sell for NFP and it worked perfect because it needed to come down and take all of that to continue to go up, which it did. But the way that today opened is the only thing that has me like, I want sales. But then again, I always want sales. So it's like, psychologically, I'm like, is the market really telling me sales or is it that I really want to sell and I've been wanting to sell gold for the last 2 months and it just hasn't sold off nicely how it should because I just like my bears to sell, right? But overall, like Rich said, yes. I mean, as long as we maintain, and even that, bro, like I feel we need to maintain the low that we have right now. Like it needs to stay under 2,700 for it to continue. Like it needs to grab some strength to really keep on coming down. Hit the previous day lows, which would be 65, come down to even lower to that, down to like the 15, 615, 600. 588, 572. Like there's so many zones that it needs to come and take care of that we're just not taking care of because of how bullish it is. But because of how bullish it is and the structure that it's making on the bullish side for the week, typically what I've seen with gold lately is that when there's a full week that it runs just one way, the second week likes to run it that same way and then it breaks. It's been doing that for the last couple of weeks at that point. So like if it does what it's been doing, which is weird, gold normally doesn't do that then we could probably see at this point another full week of bullish, right? I would love it, obviously, if it would have come back up to that 698 and then tank. That'd be really cool because it would really confirm, like you're saying, wipe anybody that was by any chance in any sales since Friday, take them out. Like that's the only way you're gonna take them out is by going up, hit their stop hunt them, and then drop, right? So. I'm iffy on gold for sure, but what I'm excited though is that we have CPI, PPI, unemployment, like we have so much news that the moment that it decides to say, hey, you know what, we're bearish, bet. Like there's so much spaces to go down. There's so much um, room with the news and everything to come out to where we need to come down to. So like that's the low low. As far as if we break and it continues a whole another week of bearish, we're gonna see 2,800. Like I wouldn't have a doubt at this point, based off how it ran last week. And with the PPI, CPI, and unemployment, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes into that 789 to 20 to 800, somewhere around that ballpark. So if we go high, we'll go for a whole other week of bullish, which I don't like in my sense how I trade it. Obviously, there's other educators that trade other ways, and that's great for them. And we all did for it. I mean, I know Joe crushed it last week selling all the tap the trades because it was extremely bullish week except for NFP. So either way, we'll take our trades, we'll have fun, but really need to see what happens in the next day or two. Really leading more into Tuesdays where I would be more comfortable to say, hey, you know what, we're buying, we're selling.
Yeah. Okay. Um, cool, man. Yeah, so like again, it's really gonna be a war between the continuous trend that we had all week and it's gonna be a tricky spot, honestly. So we're probably gonna have to give it some time, but I know that you're scalping that thing anyways, bro. So I mean, you guys already know when you make money with Brent in the morning, like it doesn't matter what the trend is. If he sees something that he likes in the 1 minute time frame, it's a wrap. So but yeah, we like to give you guys kind of like overall direction because obviously if you trade with the overall momentum and trend, then the chances of you kind of writing out trades that run for higher R multiples is going to be easier than going opposed to it. So I know Brent, you like yourself, bro. So I wish some bearish pressure so you can run for like a 1 to 10 this week, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
But let's talk about Nas. And then crypto's gonna be interesting. We're not gonna talk too much about it. But Bitcoin is doing something that I've been waiting for it to do, so I want to talk about that for sure. But let's talk about Nas here real quick. Um, so obviously last week, um, we had a lot going on. We had a really choppy ass day when it came to FOMC. I think it was FOMC on Wednesday. um where we had price like basically spike back and forth. This is Brent's paradise right here for scalping for sure. But overall, like from a higher intraday swing trade perspective, that's obviously a very weird day. And then the day after, we had a market closure with Jimmy Carter's passing and the memorial, so that wasn't even like a tradable day. And then NFP definitely brought the volume to end the week and basically just continue more of the same, right? A lot of bearish pressure. So where we're at for now, obviously with my specific strategy, we wait until Asian range finishes, doing its thing. I've been talking about waiting for the bias to finally kick in. Obviously, having that bias did kind of make me miss on some opportunities, at least for trade alerts, for the week. So I wasn't very active, honestly, with trade alerts and all that stuff. But yeah, man, I was waiting for this kind of sideways momentum to like give up, and start retracing some of this move, which is gonna happen. We're gonna end up like look at all of this liquidity here, guys. There's so much sell pressure that has mounted from last week that when we decide to run bullish, this is gonna be that first primary target to just collect all of the stop losses that are sitting above here. So the bullish pressure when it comes, I feel like it's gonna be reminiscent of the week that we had here with news, where during holiday, this was like right before Christmas. It was like right before Christmas, if I remember. We had this huge meltdown on Nas, and then here we just completely shifted momentum and just ran crazy. I'm expecting this type of retracement week soon. All right. Now, again, if I hold on to a bias and then it keeps going the other way, then I'm gonna miss on opportunity. So we gotta allow the Asian range to kind of form for my specific way of trading Nas, to see where we're at. But look, major sell side liquidity was already captured, meaning there was a lot of sellers, or I'm sorry, a lot of buy pressure, from these lows here. We had these major lows that have been for a while here. These lows are from December 20th. and January 2nd. So this is like, yeah, like weeks worth of lows that we're sitting here on NAS. And number one, NAS doesn't like to stay down too long. And when we start taking out major lows like this, that's really like the incentive for price to start catapulting the other way to grab other liquidity, fill in imbalance from the weeks prior, etc. So from a, just somebody looking at this overall, obviously it's been pushing bearish. There's not any signs right now of any reversal happening, of course. So sells are the better bet in general still, but the minute we start getting a structure shift, we start coming back above all of these lows that we already printed, something like this, then that will be like my indication for a massive run on all of these liquidity zones here and potentially even rebalancing price above 21,400, 21,300. I'd actually say safer. So this is like what I'm hoping for. Well, not hoping for, but like, this is what is my ideal scenarios for me to catch like a really great R multiple scenario and just kind of ride momentum. So we gotta wait for obviously confirmations and things like that to align first. But yeah, it's been a bloodbath obviously across indices, cryptos. Things were definitely tanking all last week. So I expect us to kind of start the week continuing that a little bit, and then finally with all the news and stuff, kind of start shifting us back up. So that's how I see it right now. I see the chat lighting up a little bit here. Let me see. Oh, okay, you already responded there. All right,
Yeah, I'm
cool, cool,
responding.
cool.
I got
All
you.
right, awesome, awesome. So yeah, man, that's what I got for Naz. I'll let you share
Yep.
here.
Let's see where this thing go. Or share screen. Bam. Okay. So want to do this really quick. What do you guys, so here's kind of something that sometimes how I like to look at the market. It's weird, but sometimes I like to look at it this way, right? Where is my little rectangle? So let's just look at this right here, okay? You guys see how we went down, up, pattern, tank, right? We all see that. What do we see here? Kind of the same thing, right? Up, down, down, up, down, up. What's next? So I'm a little bit mixed here. I have
Yeah.
a little bit of a mixed bag situation here. So one side of me says that because of the energy that NAS came out with, like NAS opened and then it said, nah, bro, we're going down. Like the Bears came in and said, move out of the way. This is my house, and just rushed it right away, which normally you don't see that. Like at the bell, usually you see one candle, one candle, one candle. This is a 30-minute time frame, by the way. So they came in with some energy. They're coming into play. Now, the thing is, will they break this demand? Will they break this previous low, right? This is a very strong zone right here, which why I understand, Rich, you want to buy, right? Because that's perfect. It's so freaking strong. There's so much reason. All of this right here is so freaking strong. And because all of this is not touched, it needs to come forward, right? As long as it respects this, maybe even just fakes everybody out and then it grabs somewhere here and
Hmm.
then tests and go, it's gone. Like it's gone, and it's gone up to what I think a bull high this week we could see is 22,430, 380, like way out of here again with the three set of news that we have. If it decides to respect that and break and respect it and bounce, we are off. On the contrary, if we keep this energy up and we break it, we're down. Like my low is going to be 1970. It's 19. What was it? What was my low? My low was 19,850. 19,850. So really where we're at, it's super pivotal. The last thing I would do right now would be to buy or to sell, because literally where it's at, you could either end up buying at the lowest low and have just an amazing week, or you could end up buying right at the drop and just straight red, right? So really need to wait to see what's going to happen. I would like to see it come down, bounce up, break above again, and then respect and go, come into the buys at that point, or have it break, respect, go, and then at that point. And I'm not a continuation trader. I'm a scalper, as you guys know, but it's just more of this zone for me is just not tradable right now. Not even as a scalper. If right now it was a Tuesday, 8 o'clock in the morning, I would not be interested probably in trading NAS. Would we go in some? Of course we would. You guys know how I am. But I wouldn't be super interested in going for any one to threes or anything like that. It would be super. It would be nothing but one little tablespoon of oatmeal, like not even the whole bowl. Like it would be just some quick little 100 pip moves and that's it. Until it breaks out of one of these two zones, and then I'm comfortably buying or selling at that point. So we get go for some good one to threes and things of that nature, right? TP3, TP4s. TP5 like we did last week. Like it needs to break out of these zones to decide what it's going to do. Both areas are solid. The buy is perfectly solid. The sell, because of the energy that it's coming up with and what we have here, makes perfect sense too. All of this needs to be taken care of for the same reason why we should buy to take care of this, same reason we should sell to take care of this. So there's both of those areas to it, right? And that's where you just need to make sure you don't fall in love with the trade and you just patiently wait until you're actually seeing what you're seeing and like, okay, cool. Like now I have a better picture. Now I see that it broke out. It went to, it did what it did to do. Okay, now I like it. Now let me go in. That's the biggest thing, obviously, where we could fall into that trap, right? Is immediately like, oh, I see a good buy, I see a good sell, and go right into it. Just wait for those confirmations. Don't have FOMOs. I always they tell people, right? Like, you see the entry and it went away from you. Guess what? It's going to come back. Everything retraces. Like, you take a sell, you probably missed that first entry. Well, it's going to retrace and it's going to confirm, and you can grab in there and get into that sale. Like, it's not a big deal. Same thing if it's going to buy, it goes away with you. It's going to come down, retrace, and then get in it. You're okay. Don't freak out. So let's just wait to see what happens at that point. And then the other thing too, which Kate just said too, we have the inauguration coming. That's a whole nother situation too, especially with NAS specifically being in companies, all that good stuff. That's a whole nother thing. Everything else that's been going on right now with the fires in California, obviously, sending prayers, energy, everything to you guys over there. If anybody lives in California, had affected with the wildfires. So we have the fire situation there. So there's just a lot of moving pieces that obviously could affect NASA as well. But inauguration for sure is something that I know we will see. This one, as far as it going down NAS, I really don't think so, just because of, again, not getting political here, nobody take this anyway, but if you look at it back then, because it was Trump, because it's business and it's negotiations and stuff like that, it was actually favorable. But you can't fall into the smoke. That's why I tell you guys, don't fall with the smoke. Like you fall into like, oh, because this person is doing it or this person doing it, then it has to. And because the news sometimes outlet will put out the number and say, hey, projection for NAS to go up because of. Guys, don't fall into that. Look at the charts. The candles are not going to lie. Look at the charts. That's what's going to tell you if it's going to go up or it's going to go down. But NASA actually went up during that term right at that point. So because it went up, well, I think it should retrace, right? It should come down before it continues to go up too. So it'll be interesting for sure. But that's what I got right now for NAS.
Yeah. No, and I mean, make no mistake, guys. I didn't share the higher time frames, but this is a weekly, okay? And we had a very strong weekly closure, okay? The only thing is, if you guys notice on the weekly, we can see how towards the beginning of the week we really ran to make those highs, rejected very strongly, and ended up tanking the rest of the week, right? So in like overall, definitely Brent's scenarios for tanking are very on the table. I just think if we do see bullish pressure, this area of 21,300 is really where we start tapping into the wick, right? That area of supply. And overall, like if we get a crazy bearish, crazy bullish pressure just because of the liquidity grabs I talked about, it'll just be that impulsive move to come back up into 21,300. So will I expect, new all-time highs or something like that? I'm not too sure on that just because again, we did see a very strong did I just freeze here?
No, you're good.
I don't know why my trading view was acting up there. Um yeah, like just clothing that bearish for the week does kind of give me some sentiment that sell pressure will be overall kind of something we can probably expect for a little bit. Um, but yeah, I think just grabbing this liquidity, we do have at least that potential to retrace higher, and that retracement alone is not gonna feel like a retracement. Like if we catch that trade together, it's not gonna feel like a retracement. It's gonna feel like crazy big bullish push. All right. But again, once all this liquidity is cleared and we start tapping into that higher time frame weekly supply area, then we could potentially see the realignment to, come back down. So it's gonna be interesting, bro. We gotta keep an eye on it for sure. But if sell pressure is coming, you already know Brent's capitalizing. Like if there's sell pressure, like it's very hard for him not to get it. So definitely stay tapped in. The last thing here, really fast, and then I know we have our announcement. I mean, obviously, you guys already know we're talking about the trading plan PDF that we promised y'all. We're gonna definitely touch on that and make it available for you guys. Finally here, but crypto wise, and yeah, I was gonna actually ask you, Brent. I think I saw you texting, right?
Yeah, I'm saying if he's dropping in now.
Uh, Okay, all right, good. I just saw the order of operations right now. So I was wondering about the order. Okay, cool, cool. Well, yeah, in general, guys, really quickly, just I'm not gonna talk about a bunch of cryptos, but I'm gonna talk about something important, which is we all know that when the catalyst or the driving force for the whole industry is the leader, right? And Bitcoin is something that is going to influence everything, obviously. And we've seen its run from 52 to 100 over the last several months. And we finally have kind of come to a standstill here where price has kind of made those last impulsive moves. And we formed a very strong key level at around 92,000 that I've been talking about. So I've been talking about it earlier, but like these last couple weeks, we've now revisited it even more. So we're just building up even more liquidity on the bottom of this move right here. And essentially, until this really breaks, we can expect price to maybe come a little bit higher again to about 98. But I really think that we're gonna have a hard time breaking 102. And I think that once we start breaking below 92, like break and close here on the daily time frame, we're due for like a massive meltdown, like filling in all of this imbalance from this rally here, and we'll get back down below 80. Below 80 to 70 is where we'll kind of see Bitcoin head to. So just be on the lookout for that. Like the bear pressure, it's not yet, I think. I think we got one more little impulse, but once we break 92, like it's gonna be a free fall all the way to like mid 70s. Revisiting structure, filling in imbalance, like it's just too easy. It really is too easy to spot for me based off of all the studying I've done with the in the past with markets and stuff. I just see that as an inevitable thing that's coming soon. So just be aware of that. Once we get into the 70s, like I've said, I mean, it's really a toss up if we're gonna, support here and work our way back up again for new all-time highs. If we break below that long term, we have the possibility of even getting back down to 50. This is going to be a very crucial point, that mid 70s area once we get there. But for now, like just be aware that we will get there soon, I think. So yeah, that's all I wanted to touch on as far as crypto. I don't know if you want to touch anything, bro, on that.
For Bitcoin, I'm waiting. You and I have spoken about this. I'm waiting. Once it gets to 64,675, that's when I'm interested in buying a little bit. Because then at that point, everybody starts freaking out and Bitcoin's not real, crypto's not real, and
Oh
everything. And
yeah.
everybody kind of forgets about it. And now it's on discount. And now the real ones that come in. And we could snatch that along with the institutions when it drops somewhere. It sounds crazy, guys, I know, but look at this historically, okay? Don't freak out on me yet. And I'm not a crypto educator or nothing like that. 38, 8, 38, 880. 38, 880. When in doubt, zoom out. Looking at the bigger picture, you see it. Anytime it goes up, goes down heavy at that level, goes up, goes down heavy at the level. And the reason why I feel it could take a really big dump is because the next move finally that we should start seeing is a lot of governments, banks, like we're starting to see it already, but like at a higher level of adaptation to it. So you're going to have institutional whales now wanting to come into this game too. And what will they do? Well, it's a dump and bump, right? They need to dump it to get a better price to buy it. Like, yes, there's certain companies that you see that come in and they buy right now millions of dollars of it. Cool, I get it. But once we get the feds into this and the whole situation, federal banks and reserves and like all at a bigger level, and at the same time too, I know there's obviously the word that the next president is looking to make it to where crypto is there's no capital gains on it, right? Like many other countries have done it, like El Salvador and stuff like that. Mexico does that too. Like there's a lot of countries that don't put capital gains on that. If that's the case too, then you're going to see a bunch of retail coming in. And that's when I think really the game would change. I think we could really get out. I'm going to be very excited if Bitcoin really becomes uh like tax whatever like that point like their capital gain side of things that remove that because now everybody's going to trade Bitcoin the way that it's traded for gold and NAS and everything like that. And the market will shift and adapt to it. And Bitcoin could end up being like a big NAS type of movement where it's quick, it's fast, it does the same type of volume. Like it's really good because we could possibly see that other asset. And with that, brokers have to adapt to it, have to tighten the spreads, have to do everything else because there's more demand on it. Right now, there's no demand on trading Bitcoin the way that we trade NAS.
Yeah.
That's why you need to be very careful trading it. That's why the spreads are like crazy different. Why is the broker going to put time into it when there's no demand? Wait until there's thousands and millions of people saying, hey, there's no more capital gains on it. We need to trade it now. And they're just bugging. Then the brokers need to adapt. And it's going to be a very fun time for all of us here because we're going to have all the knowledge that we have from Liberty, from scalping, from this, and we could apply it into that. It's another good one that's going to move very fast. So please, Bitcoin, come down to 38, destroy everybody so we can come in and take over the game. That's what I want. Let it be to where it's capital gain free so we can actually put it into brokers where there's sort of short spreads. Man, and I'm not asking for much, right? Just a little bit. That would be great.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. I think it's inevitable, but time will tell. We got some ways to get there.
Yes.
But all right, awesome. So we've pretty much
Drumline.
covered all the assets and all the things.
Yes.
So it is time.
Drumline.
Drum roll. We got a drum roll in the chat. We need a drum roll
Drum roll. We
in
need
the
a drum
chat.
roll
If
in
you
the
guys are
chat.
ready, we are going to unleash the 2025 trading plan PDF. It's not so mysterious. We need more drums, man. If we don't get no drums, we're dropping no PDF.
Come on
We need
now.
to get drums in the chat. Let's go. All right, all right. If you're not kicking the floor and like stomping your desk and waking people up, you ain't doing it right. I don't care if it's 2 in the
Nick
morning
Cannon.
in UK right
Remember
now.
that Nick Cannon movie when he does a drum thing? We need to see people like that doing flipping around and doing everything, bro. Like we need to see
Let's
you guys
go.
out here.
Let's go. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. So, bro, how should we do this? Should we drop it in the NAS chat? Should we? What? How are we gonna do this?
Share screen. Let's show it for the
Oh,
next
okay, 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 okay,
so that way,
okay.
because I know we have like 10 more minutes left for the call. So it's
Yeah.
obviously going to extend a little bit, guys, today. So next 10, 15 minutes, let's show it. Let's break it down. And then let's drop it here on the chat for everybody here. And
Can
then
we
let's
do
wait
that?
like 10 minutes.
Can we drop it on here?
I think so. Right?
I don't. I'll try. We'll
Yeah,
try.
if we could, that'd be great because that way you guys have it first. And then
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next like
yeah,
15 minutes, we'll drop it for everybody else. So you guys get first
yeah.
dibs.
All right, all right. So I'm gonna share it here.
But yeah, share screen first. Share screen first. Let's go do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. All right. Boom. Here we go. This is it, guys. So the 2025 trading plan, and it's a good amount of pages. Um, it's gonna be obviously aesthetic. It's got to be aesthetic. We have a little glossary that's gonna break down all the different pages for you guys there, and then we have like some educator profiles for Brent and myself. And we're gonna touch on a couple different things. Obviously, this is not gonna be like some Illuminati secret information that you've never heard in your life before, but these are all of the principles and the main things that you need to know, to jot down, to have always in your subconscious that you cannot forget when it comes to how you go about trading. Hold on. There we go. So, Brian, if you want to talk a little bit about, how we break it down here. I know
Yeah,
the
so we're
first
going
slide is
down.
on trading.
Obviously, when we spoke about this last week, we already given you guys kind of the 5 points, and here we elaborated a little bit more. So you can see here, obviously, what am I trading? Important for you to know what you're trading, understand that part, and then our top three, right? When we say our, it's Rich and I. So our top three, and obviously understanding, right? An index being NAS, metals being XAUSD, which is gold, cryptos, BTC, altcoins. So just giving you the understanding of what you're trading. Then we head into like, what do we trade? So like understanding that part, right? NAS, like you're trading NAS, okay, cool. But what is NAS, right? Like not just knowing that it's an index and it's 100, like not that, but like what are you actually trading? Well, NAS is volatile. It's highly volatile, right? Typical stop loss. Understand, like for me, I do 20 up, 20 down, which is 200 pips. Rich does 500, right? 50 up, 50 down. So it's the same situation. Ideally, times that we trade it. This is Eastern Standard Time, as you can see there. I know there's people from all over the world, so just use Google, World Time Buddy, whatever it is to help you out on that part. But that's NAS. For gold, obviously the volatility is a little bit moderate. Stop losses, I do 3 up, 3 down. Most of the top the trades, for example, are 50 pips. We understand that Joel does 100, but that's why he puts his notes, obviously, to understand that. But typically across the board, like the majority of educators are trading gold anywhere from 30 to 50 pips, ideally trading during New York. Same thing, but the times. And then crypto, obviously it's high, but we understand how we do crypto here, right? We buy and hold long term. We expect some drawdowns and some big gains, right? So just understanding really what you're trading to that point.
Yep. Yeah, and then we head into the sessions, right? So like we talk about, primarily you guys are always going to see us trade New York session. Brent and me stream back to back at 9 and 10 a.m. Eastern respectively throughout the week. So just understanding like when the liquidity is in the markets, realizing that if you're trying to trade during Asia, you can make some type of money, but overall, you're just gonna get bigger, more aggressive moves if you're trading at the ideal time. So we just kind of break that down for you guys when those ideal times are, just kind of how the market divides itself into sessions throughout the day. We also talk about risk management. At the end of the day, again, some of these things are concepts that you guys may know about, but are you putting it into practice? Do you know it like the back of your hand? One thing that you guys really got to understand with this PDF and what you decide to do the rest of the year is if you can't teach, for example, risk management to like your mom or to your friend without looking at any help, you don't know it yet. So the whole point of this PDF is not just to throw in your face simple things that you think you already know. It's like you gotta put it into practice. It has to reflect on your accounts. It has to show in your actual putting it to use that you get it, right? So position sizing, understanding risk to reward, win rate, those type of things. And of course, look, at the end of the day, guys, let's be real, right? PDFs, they're going to get passed around. This is free, right? So we know it's going to get into the hands of people that maybe are not active in akashx, maybe aren't in akashx. So we're not going to give away the house, right? This is not going to be like, again, some super secret Illuminati information, right? They're always going to get the max value by being a paid member of akashx. So you'll see some of these things will say like, hey, refer to our educator training series for more detailed stuff on yada, 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 yada. So that's some risk management stuff. I know Brandon, he'll talk about this part here where like, we kind of divide like what type of trader are you, right? Some people only take TTTs. Some people are mixing TTT and trade alerts. Some of you guys trade live with Brent. So I'll let him talk about this part real quick here too.
Yeah, this part's super important. I know, Rich, and I definitely wanted to add this one because when you come into a cash or somebody comes into a cash like a lot of times it's just like I came in for tap to trade. Like, okay, but like what type of trader are you? Like just because you're just taking a tap, is that who you are? Like, do you even know about trade alerts, know about live sessions? So it's a good way to understand that there's more than just one thing. And you don't have to do just one. Like you could do all three, but it's just breaking it down, right? And then we show here a little bit like, okay, you're a tap to trader. Great. What is tap to trade, right? Break a little definition and just understanding like the risk of the positions, what it takes, beginner friendly. It's a tool. Like tap to trade is a tool, right? That you're doing while you're earning while you're learning. Trade alerts gives you more of a breakdown of what a trade alert is, how that works at that point, what type of risk, rewards, setups, all that good stuff. And then live sessions trade, right? Which is basic and easy, simple. Like there was not much to put there, right? You literally trade with an akashx educator in real time. Like what's better than that, right? You literally get to do that. And of course, like we put on there, obviously optimal results, all the good stuff. Go into the training series, go into the academies, like go into the live sessions, go to akashxlaunch.com. But when you're in akashx, you obviously have access to all of this. But now you might have known what an educator training series, but you never went in there because you're like, what's this for? Well, guys, like this is what that's for, right? And nice little breakdown to it. Auditing your account. Obviously, this one was super important, Rich, and I think we took a long time. I think most on this one, like we really were going back and forth to make sure like we delivered the message correctly to you guys, right? So as we know, like I was saying, understand like your account, like what does a trade look like? Like literally, like we said on there, you need to know if you have a 10K account, 25, 50, 100K, 200, whatever it is. you need to know that account like the palm of your hand. Like this is the important side. Like why? Like your risk per trade. Like you should know already, okay, my 0.5% that I'm risking equals out to $50. Like you should know that already, like without having to do any calculators. Risk reward ratios, you should already know what that looks like, right? What does that mean? Okay, well, the example is if I'm risking $1, well, I'm making 2 to 3, not just 1 to 3, but no, like what are you risking? Just understand that. And your drawdown limits. So this one's important, guys. Just because it says 5 to 10 doesn't mean you're supposed to risk 5 to 10. So it's just in the back of like establishing what is your max drawdown that you are placing in your plan and what is a max drawdown for your actual account itself. And just understanding by understanding this, you're really limiting yourself, right? To not revenge trade, to not go crazy. Because if you have that number behind your head, you know when to stop, right? At least it's if you know, hey, I could risk 100 a day and you hit your 100, you're done. If you don't know that it's 100, you're going to keep on going. I'll wait. I'll make the next one. I'll do that. I'll double it. No, like once you know that number, you stop. That's why it's important to know this account like the palm of your hand. So great little PDF that we made for you guys. Took us a couple hours to do it. Obviously, shout out to Rich because he's the one. He's a wizard there with the Canva to make it look all shiny and nice. I would have given you guys probably an Excel sheet and called it a day. So shout out to Reserve for Rich for making it all nice and pretty nice and fancy there for you guys. So we'll see if we could drop it here in the chats for you guys, and if not, for
It's
sure
not
we'll have.
gonna let me, but I'm gonna drop it right now. I think it would make sense to do it in the NAS chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all you guys that are like on these market outlook calls, you like pretty much tap into the NAS chat more than anything. Um,
And if you don't know
so
what we're talking about, guys, go to
yeah, I was gonna show that first.
akashxlaunch.com, go to akashxlaunch.com, and then in akashxlaunch.com, there's something that says community chat. When you click on it, it takes you to the Telegram group. So make sure you're on akashxlaunch.com if you're not in there yet. Okay, guys? Which you all should, but in case you're brand new, akashxlaunch.com is something that Rich and I and Armin built to make sure that it has a good onboarding process for you guys. So if you're brand new and you haven't been onboarded, you feel a little bit lost, go to akashxlaunch.com, watch all those videos, and then here's how you join the community. In that community, there's multiple tabs, multiple chats. Inside the one that says NAS 100 is where we're dropping it.
Yep. Let me see if it lets me. I think it should, bro. Let me see.
Yeah, and that one it should.
So NAS 100 chat. You guys are watching me do it. Oh, 4 gigs. No way.
Get out of
Hold
here.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Google Drive link.
Let me wait, because it's a PDF, right?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
How many? How many? I didn't realize it was so big of a file. I don't think that's correct. Maybe share? Nah. We didn't anticipate this part, guys, as you can see. And you don't have to be a genius to make some money. Oh, no, wait, it worked. I don't know. I must have clicked something wrong. I'm like, that's not 4 gigs. Okay, we're about to drop it in the NAS chat. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh, it's not allowed. Look, it's not gonna let
no.
me.
Oh, wait. Okay. Send that to me. Send that to me.
All right, I'm gonna send it. Hold on, let me stop sharing my screen. They don't want the chat to have the PDF, bro. This is crazy. All right. I'm gonna send it to you right here, bro.
Yeah, I have it on the phone, but send it to me over here, please, so I can forward it.
Here we go. Oh no, wait. Here we go. All right, you should have it, bro.
And forward.
All right. So you guys are gonna have that shortly. It's crazy. Yeah, honestly, man, like, look, chats have these restrictions because of how many people unfortunately abuse things.
Mhm.
Just people promoting links, scammers, all type of stuff. So we gotta have some limitations on those chats when it comes to like links and files and whatnot, but we'll have it there shortly. I don't know if Brent, in the meantime, we wanna. Oh, you dropped it?
Did it work?
Oh, Tiffany dropped, bro. No way, she dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
There you
Shout
go,
out
guys.
Tiffany. Hey, let's drop some. thank you Tiffany's in the chat box. Let's drop some thank you Tiffany's in the chat box for her coming through and helping us post that. She is the best. Man, listen, nothing is possible without Tiffany and Brittany. Okay? Tiffany and Brittany make akashx go round. Okay, so shout out to both of them, but shout out to Tiffany right now for helping us with dropping the file. Let's go. All right, we got it there, guys. So again, look, we were excited to give it to you guys. We promised it to you guys. It's gonna give you some structure. And again, it's not gonna be like some groundbreaking, crazy thing, but that should excite you. And I'd say that because sometimes we keep looking for external answers when it's really already here, man. Like, yeah, I felt for that for a long time. My first couple years trading, I kept looking for different things, new things. And you know what, man? There's just some things called principles, right? You heard of law of attraction, there's law of gravity. Like there's certain laws and principles that make the world go round. Well, there's laws in trading, and those laws are in that PDF. Like those are non-negotiable things. I never tell people that you have to trade Liberty because Brent can clearly trade better than me, put it that way, like doing what he does. And some people love his stuff, some people love my stuff, some people love Joel's stuff. And then there's even other people like, I don't know, maybe a special guest. I don't know, maybe like a special guest on the call.
You're supposed to be here. Where are you at?
Oh no, come on. I
Yeah.
literally segued into that so smooth
No,
too,
you
bro.
did it so good too, bro. The hell? Like, you're
I
supposed to be
segued
here.
so smooth into the special guest out
Let-
of nowhere too. They're like, "Oh, PDF, we're done." Nah, we got a special guest.
I wonder if you got the time zone wrong.
Oh nah. Oh no. Come on, man. What is
Oh,
going on?
this is not.
What is going on here?
Let me see what other strings I can pull. You gotta be pulling strings over here, bro.
Yeah, even you looked surprised. He's like, "Wait, oh, we're bringing up the guest." Oh my goodness. All right. So we wanted to bring somebody on here in a sec because as you guys may know, we have a lot of things going on like events. We even have some calls that are coming up soon that you're going to be hearing more and more about. So we wanted to bring in somebody that is pivotal to things like akashx launch, kind of the system that me and Brent have been talking about when it comes to, not just leveraging us, us two for trading, but how to diversify into other things. And, at the end of the day, man, akashx is so much bigger than just us two. So it was only right to make sure that we plug in somebody else on here. But waiting for Brent to give us a little bit of
You're gonna
update. No,
answer.
no, okay, that's
He's
fine,
like
bro.
still at the gym or whatever. He's there.
Okay.
But yeah. So all good. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Yes, the chat is correct. It was Armin. But he must have he's CST, I'm EST. I just said 7:30, so I don't 8:30. So I don't know if he meant 8:30 that time or whatever it was. But
Oh
yes,
yeah.
for sure. So we have some really good calls going on, guys. So on the 25th right now, soon to be announced, there'll be a call where it's going to be a very different call. So it's something that we've all been asking for. Armin has been pushing a lot for this again. Yeah, his elevator broke again. Exactly. He always said something like that. But it is something to where Armin has been pushing a lot. He's been pushing a lot for something like this to where it's a little bit of a different type of call. Not your just regular onboarding call, not just your regular training call, but something for you guys to kind of see like the behind the scenes, right? As far as like what it looks like to be an educator, be with a group of educators, do a couple different things. So that call's going to be happening on the 25th as of now. There's no specific time right now as far as what time it's going to be. Tomorrow, we're having a meeting. So we'll break it all down, put like the actual breakdown of what the call's supposed to be, the time, everything, but it's scheduled as of now. So you guys can pencil it in, but with a pencil. Don't put it with a permanent marker.
Yeah, yeah.
Pencil it in for the 25th. We'll keep an eye on the chat so we'll let you know what time that's going to happen. Of course, if you guys are watching the replay, most likely right now, and you're in London, Rich and I will see you over there for sure in London. So if you are there, you have the opportunity. If you're not there, you still have the opportunity. We've spoken about the power events multiple times. So make sure you're in the event, tap in for sure for the event. And yeah, and then from there, guys, it's gonna be a good year. It's definitely gonna be a good year. Make sure you have your passports ready. Get yourself invest into a nice little suitcase, guys. Doesn't have to be nothing fancy, but a nice little suitcase or backpack. Make sure if you guys have like Start breaking down if you don't know what flight points are, like on credit cards and stuff like that, how to utilize it correctly to make the most out of it. But this year, guys, we are definitely going to be on a lot of planes, a lot of events.
Yeah.
So be ready for it. Last year, there wasn't that many, but this year, there's going to be for sure a lot more to come. So
Yeah.
we're starting off, we're opening the year pretty much here in London. And then from there, there's a lot more to come for sure.
Yep. 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 So I think I'll be there as early as Tuesday, Wednesday,
We're getting there. We're leaving the 15th to get there 16th, bro. So we're going to be
Thursday. Thursday. So I'll do my sessions regularly, guys, on Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I don't think I'm gonna have a session. I know Brent alluded to schedule changes as well
there.
at the beginning of this call. So, just keep an eye out for that. But yeah, everything else until then will be as normal. And yeah, once we come back from London, man, like that's gonna be the icebreaker of traveling and events and setting into motion a lot. You guys got to be, yeah, you guys got to realize, akashx just grew 10x, like from 1,000 to 10,000 people in the last like half a year, which means that we're gonna start doing a lot of, US based events, international events. And like now is where you're gonna see like phase two of akashx. Like we've been in phase one for the first 2 years. Phase two is like really taking this from like 10 to 100,000 people, and then phase three will be stadiums. So we're heading there. And this year will be that really like that push where we go from like a buzz in the network marketing trading space to like established number one in the space where like people know what a akashx is. It's not gonna be like what the heck is that? It's gonna be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. Like that's where it's going. But here's the thing, that will only be possible with the field. You are the field, right? Each and every single one of you guys that invest their time into these Sunday market outlooks, into the sessions, that have been passing your phase ones, getting funded, even if you've been, not struggling, but learning, right? Like just going through the phases of burning funded challenges, but improving, fixing your mistakes, getting better. Wherever you're at in your akashic's journey, just know that you are valuable. Like you have something to share, whether you've withdrawn, not withdrawn, feel like you're learning, feel like you're still like needing a lot of help. The fact that you're connected to this business is already valuable because you're going to be able to put people in positions to win. I want you to understand that, guys, heading into, these next couple of months, your rank is not going to be based on how good of a trader you are. Your rank is going to be based on your shift to understanding that your rank is how many people you're putting in a position to win. The minute that you shift that approach, I promise you, you're going 3 and 3 in your sleep. You're going 1K in your sleep. We have like 3 days left for the 999 promo. People are locking in for 999 bucks for the whole year and getting max funding, which in the PDF you're gonna see, and we've talked about it in the 2025 blueprint at the beginning of the year. Max funding is one of the three elements to you going absolutely insane with like your best financial year as a trader and networker. Max funding, man. You guys have the ability to knock in for yourselves, and for anybody that wants to start a akashx, take advantage. That promo's 3 days left. And even if they don't, we have all year to get a akashx from 10 to 100,000 people with your help. With each and every single one of you, just bringing 1 to 3 people. Think about it. 10,000 people bring one, the company's 20 grand. Everybody brings 5 people, the company's at 50. Like it's really not a unbelievable goal, but it's about how many people are bought into what we have. How many people believe in themselves to just share the business. So I'll leave you guys with that. Brent, any last minute thoughts before we get out of here, bro?
And just to like segue to what you said, right? It's not that hard, guys. Like, because right now you have a platform now that has a collaboration with a prop firm that's giving away free profits. You have an onboarding system that's separate, but obviously together, but it's separate so it's not getting lost in the entire app, right? You have, hey, here, cashxlaunch.com. Oh, by the way, here's a trading plan, here's a PDF. What else, guys? Like literally, literally, John Heresma, Jefferson Santos, Candice Davis, like 550, 500Ks. Matt now, which he's a 500K shout out to as well, right? On his way to super. They all said the same thing. You guys are not the message, you're the messenger. All of them said the same thing. They
Yeah.
all said duplication. Duplication is the key. Duplication. We want to give you guys what? Time freedom. John Heresma speaks about it in his books and everything. Bestseller author. He sells about it. Time freedom, right? We don't want you guys to be on an onboarding call with three people taking 3 hours individually with each to bring them through the process. We don't want
I've
to give
done that
you a
before.
job. We're literally making it so freaking easy. Like I have a saved message on Instagram because you could like write a little code and it saves it to where it's like, bam, cashexlaunch.com. And then like links to other videos that when you click on it, it sends you into like akashx, right? Which I need to update it now. Like here's a link where you're gonna find the PDF, right? Like everything is one message. That's all I need to do. And then it's like, okay, they sign up. Guess what? Here's another safe message with your steps. Cashexlaunch.com. Then go to the training series, PDF. Once you did all of that, let me know what questions you have specifically at that point. And then what do I do? Because I took the time to actually study it. When I get the question, what's I don't know what lot size to use. Oh, that means you didn't watch the video that says this right here and this one. So go watch that video again. I don't give them the answer. And I know it. And it's not that I'm trying to be like egotistical or whatever, like don't waste my time. No, like we build an onboarding system that freaking works. Use it. And why do I push them to do that? Because if I go ahead and I take an hour out of my time to show you something that's there, what is that person going to do? They're going to duplicate the same exact way. And if they have 10 hours in the week, now they're going to take it in two people when they could have literally sent it to 100 people, the same messages and sign them up with the same exact amount of effort. So, guys, you guys have it so freaking easy. Do not tell me it's hard. This is coming from somebody that does not do network marketing in the past. This is somebody that did not, literally, Rich and I, we were talking, when we were doing, guys, the trading plan, literally, we had like a moment, like we paused and we're like, bro,
Oh
like
yeah,
shout
yeah.
shout out to our mentors. Obviously, they did what they could at that time, so we're not saying any sort of like ungratefulness, but it's like, bro, imagine if we had this 5 years ago. Like if
Yeah.
we had to pay a fraction of the price that we paid, if we had the onboarding systems that we have now, if we had a free freaking proffer from 10,000 to $200,000, like, bro, where would we be right now? Like it's insane where we would be right now if we had that. So you guys have it now, and we're excited for that. We're grateful of that. That's what we take the
Yeah.
time and do what we did. Again, this PDF, it's nothing to do with corporate or this, or they didn't pay us to do it. Nobody paid Rich and I to do it. Like we literally sat our asses down for like 3 to 4 hours straight, knocked it out. Here it is for you guys. Like, because we want to make sure that you can duplicate. That's important for us that
Yeah.
you could duplicate it and you could do it in a most smooth, easy way, chilling without having to get a third, fourth job or anything like that. This is it, guys. So go ahead, launch. You're literally 12 days into the year. Don't come at me in the next month saying that new year, new me. No, bro, you're 12 days in. You gotta hurry up and remember what you did. That same energy you had 2 weeks ago. I need to see that right now. Don't come at me. I'll just wait till next year. Bullshit. No, hurry up. Gotta do what you
Bro,
gotta do.
fear
Let's
is
do
the
it.
only thing that can hold them back right now, bro. And all I can say is this. People, this is the number one reason why some people here are not 3 and 3 on 1K. It's because people ask them, so how much money have you made? Or how good at trading are you? And then you freeze up, or you're like not even starting conversations because you're scared somebody's gonna ask you that. Bro, this is all you need to understand. I work with Rich and Brent. If you get started with this company and you trade live with Brent and you learn Rich's strategy and you just do it with me, we're gonna level up together in 2025. The minute you stop trying to be like the answer to their problems, no, no. Just let them know that Rich and Brent exists in this platform. You're gonna get on their stuff and we're gonna win together. If not, they can watch you do it. And
From
that's just
Will.
us too.
Cares.
When they start finding out about all the other guys, I mean, my God. But like, just start with us too. That's all you got to do, guys. But I wish you all the best. Let's have a great week. I will see those who are going to be in London in London. Brent, thank you, bro, so much for your value and everything you do all the time, man. Is Tampa losing or winning?
I don't even know, bro. I don't want to look.
All right, we're going to watch some football now. All right, y'all have a blessed night. See you guys on the sessions and in London. And as always, let's run it up.